I do it all the time.
We're now going by best player of the game, Scottie Thompson, and winning coach, Coach Tim. Congratulations, gentlemen. Coach Tim, the score does not reflect the fight that Blackwater had in them tonight, but you were too much for them, not only offensively, but also defensively, just shutting down the outside shooting of Forging and the inside dominance of Troy Rosario. Can you lend us some insight on how you tweaked your approach against them tonight after your first round franchise?
Well, I think we just needed kind of we talked about an attitude change. We needed to come out with a little bit more, a higher level of intensity, because, you know, they're proving to be a really, really strong team. And we didn't think we had our focus everywhere. You know, we didn't, first of all, it was George King's first game, so we had never seen him play before. And a lot of their guys, you know, got what they wanted in the last game, and we really made an effort to try to take some of that away. And I thought the guys did a really good job of responding. They did raise their intensity level. We had a few moments where we weren't playing well and we lost our focus a little bit, but generally we kept it going, and our energizer buddy over here to my left kept us in the right frame of mind all the way through.
Coach, more on the topic of Scottie, how would you describe the non-negotiables that you set for him as he was trying to get his rhythm back, and how he is just faring now with the challenges that you post on?
Well, I think Scottie's, in my opinion, he's playing about maybe 85–90% right now. He's not fully 100%, and we have to be careful with him in practice. We have to make sure we don't wear him out and let his back flare up again. So we're kind of handling him with kid gloves as much as we can. If you call 39 minutes of playing time, kid gloves. But you know, we're trying our best. But you know, he just is too important to what we do and how we do it. So you know, it's really difficult to keep him off the floor. It's really difficult to keep him out of practice. But we're doing the best we can. The trainers are doing the best they can, and he has done an incredible amount of work himself, just trying to get himself back and ready and playing with the rhythm again.
Thank you, Coach. Scottie, congratulations. Triple-double performance. Lagi mo sinasabi na ayaw mo madaliin yung sarili mo. Pero gaano ba kahirap yung pinagdaanan mo just to get back into this game shape that you are in right now?
Una-una, gusto ko pasalamat sa panalo ngayon ng Postgame na binigay na strength sa amin sa team din. Big shout out sa wife and family ko na patuloy akong alagaan. And yun, slowly getting back. No? Yun lang yung gusto ko. This conference, yung maging healthy, yung performance ko. I know darating yun, but the key for me right now is to be healthy throughout the conference. Kasi yun nga, sabi ni Coach Tim, medyo inaalalayan pa ako sa practice. But been working hard, no, para makabalik talaga yung full conditions in shape ko. Big shout out sa mga trainers namin, leaders namin, and all the ball boys na talagang tumulong sa akin para makabalik sa rin.
Scottie, lagi mo rin sinasabi that you're always looking at the bigger picture. You just want to make sure you're healthy pagdating ng playoffs. At this point, paano ba masasabi na kino-compliment ng teammates mo yung laro mo, and they also try to assist you on court and they make you better as well?
I think overall, we need to get better as a team. No? For sure, at naman personal na maging better ka, but thinking of the bigger picture, yung role ko sa team, especially ngayon, isa ako sa veteran setting. Kailangan kong maging role model sa mga bago na gawin yung pinapagawa sa amin ni Coach sa practice, and para sundan din nila kami. So I think yun yung key sa amin para mag-buy-in din yung mga bago namin. And so far, andun na yung na nakakapana sila sa system na pinapagawa sa amin. Sana magtuloy-tuloy.
We're now opening the floor to the media.
Scottie, nabanggit na nga ni Coach ang coming to this game, paano yung mindset nyo against Blackwater knowing na tinalo ko yung first round? Kayo mga players.
Coming to this game, yun nga, like Coach Tim said, yung attitude namin bago po laro, yung start sa practice, no? Yung mentality namin sa practice, kailangan iba kaysa doon sa first game namin. Kasi we all know na before this conference naman, alam namin malakas talaga yung Blackwater, nag-struggle lang sila from the start, but yun nga, kung nakarating yung bago yung Blackwater na nakikita namin off-season, yun yung nakikita namin yun. So, na-expect namin yun.
Scottie, medyo mabigat-bigat tong week na to. Yung week na to, kano crucial tong matawid nyo tong natawid nyo na yung Blackwater, then Raynor siya yung San Miguel?
Yun, I think sa amin ngayon, 3 games in 1 week, so I think crucial yung rest sa amin. And yun siguro pinaka-best sa amin ngayon, rest and recover para ready sa mga next coming games.
Coach, we saw you having a conversation with George King. What's the conversation like?
I just tell him what a great player he was. There was a couple times when he was making his move literally right in front of me, and the shots looked like they were impossible. And I just told him I was marveling at the shots he was able to make. But Blackwater is for real. They're a for real team, especially with George King. They have a lot of different weapons. I thought we did a really good job against Balefield in our first game, even though we lost. But he got away from us this game and played really well. And him and King and the outside shooting of Gary David has really carried them. Even Ilaga has been playing well. So, they are a team that's for real. And I think that we needed to realize that coming into this game. That was the key. I think we, like Scottie said, we changed our attitude and came in and tried really hard to put an A game together, which we knew we needed to win against them.
Earlier, Scottie Thompson talked about the importance of being a role model for the entire team. And with guards like Stephen Hope and Arjun Marianas, what's the progress like seeing him? Of course, he's a veteran, but what's the progress seeing him in the locker room showing his lesson and teaching his ways to the others?
I think it's less locker room than it is practice. Watching the way we practice and the habits that we try to form, and not every coach coaches the same way. So we all have different systems, not only offensive systems, but we have different defensive systems. And there's certain habits you have to form to be able to execute those systems well. And if you don't have your main guys doing that and trying to execute, then the other guys are like, why should we? So it's so crucial for Scottie and LA and Japeth and Justin. They have such a high buy-in of what we do, and they've seen the success of what we've done. So when they do it, and they do it, with detail, with a detailed approach, then the new guys buy into that as well, and they start doing it, and that's when your system starts to percolate a little bit. And so that's been the process that we've tried to go through up until now. And it's still an ongoing process. We haven't achieved it yet, but it's an ongoing process.
Coach, it seems like you're on some sort of revenge tour. Because you got one over Blackwater, then Friday you get Raynor Shine next, who beat you also in...
I don't know if it's I wouldn't call it a revenge tour. We're just trying to win. We're trying to win games, whether it be Raynor Shine or anybody else. But you learn lessons. Hopefully you learn lessons from the last time you played. So we hope we learned some lessons the last time we played against Raynor Shine, and we could make adjustments and come in with a more clear game plan. And that was a game in which we had led for 3.5 quarters, and then basically blew it up, and they blew us up in the last quarter. We got to learn from that. And if you look at our Raynor Shine's pattern, that's basically the way they play. They play all their guys, and they keep their guys fresh, and in the fourth quarter they come out and beat you up. We've got to figure out a way to combat that.
Coach,
But you threw the whiteboard at
Go with Scotty? Yeah. Okay, right, Scotty.
Thanks, Scotty. But you threw the whiteboard at one point in practice, and
I was hoping nobody noticed.
what happened? What did you not like about that, and how did you like the way they responded after that?
Well, it's not something that I should be doing. It's not a good example for young coaches out there. I have to admit that, and hopefully I don't do it too often. I know I've done it a lot in my career, but I'm an older, wiser coach, so I should know better than to do that. But bottom line was that they took out George King, and we had a 17-point lead, and they knocked it down to 7 or 8 points, and we weren't happy about it. We weren't happy about the effort. We can live with lack of, make mistakes or whatever, but we can't live with lack of effort. And we went through a period there. Maybe we got a little tired, and if we did, that's my fault. But we were sloppy, and we weren't playing with effort, and I wasn't the only one that wasn't unhappy. I just showed it more than everybody else. But that's hopefully I don't have to do that, or I don't do that too often. But we came back at halftime and reorganized ourselves, talked about it in a more calmly manner, and came out and played a better third quarter to get ourselves a little bit back in the lead.
Coach, it was about Rain or Shine. Coach Sheng mentioned earlier that he's still not convinced that they are a contender. What can you say about Rain or Shine? And
Coach Yang loves to be the underdog. There's no doubt about it. I think every coach loves to be the underdog, but it's hard always being the favorite and going out there, and it's a lot. Perceptually, it's better if you're the underdog. And I think we all try to achieve that idea of being the underdog. I think your players play with a chip on their shoulder. They play a lot harder and a lot better. And there's no doubt that Rain or Shine is playing with a chip on their shoulder. They're in the same division as San Miguel and Ginebra. So, it's like if you were comparing it to the NBA, it's one of the teams that are trying to, play with, the Warriors and the Lakers. They want to, those guys they're popular, and then little Sacramento's trying to make a name for themselves, So, I think we all understand that. I think Coach Yang is totally right in that. And I think that's a great approach for that, and it's a real motivating factor, and it's motivating throughout this whole conference. You can see that they are playing with a chip on their shoulder. And we all know how great a motivator Coach Yang is. He's always been that way throughout his career. He's been in the league, 32 years? I think I've been in the league 34 years. So, we kind of know each other pretty well.
Coach, you said some high praises for George King and the Blackwater squad as a whole. But can you talk about Coach Jeff Carriazo and the way he managed his players so far in this conference? Beat you in the third game, gave you a tough time in the third quarter. So just talk about this progression as head coach.
Well, I think that he's really taken a good, if I can, look back on this, on how he prepared for this conference. He went out and played a bunch of practice games, 7 or 8 practice games, and he had his team ready to play every one of them, and to make sure that they created a winning mentality all the way through that, and they won all their games, and I thought that was just great prep. I remember back when we were trying to establish Alaska back in 94 or 93, we did the same thing, went out and had a whole bunch of practice games. We swept them all. I think we were 10-0 in our practice games. And then we started the conference a little slow. But eventually, that taught us how to win and be prepared and get ready every game. It's hard to get ready for a practice game, to be honest with you. It's hard to get your guys ready for a practice game because they see it as a practice game. So if you can get your guys ready for a practice game every game, you're really, creating great habits for them. So he really saw that, he did it, and then of course his import kind of bogged out on him in the early part of it. But when George came in, they were playing just like they were in the practice games. They were, you know, they've been dominating, and they're shooting great, and they're defending really, really well. They're a really good defensive team, and King has helped lift them to another emotional level. You know, lift them up emotionally, so that they're playing well. So you know, Jeffrey's doing great stuff over there, and he has been. Even last conference, he did. So the record's not always showing it, but I think if you're a real basketball purist and you can watch what's going on, you watch the habits of their players and the way they are playing, then you know you can say that Jeffrey's doing a really, truly great job there. And I for one, who had him as my team captain for 7, 8 years, I'm real proud of him. Doesn't mean I want to lose to him.
Well, that wraps it up. Thank you so much, Coach Tim.
Okay,
Congratulations.
thanks guys.